Hey y'all, so I am going to be making a Aztec Clay Mask, and I wanted to show you guys how easy it is to make this mask. I do this once a week, and I got the Aztec Clay. Here it is. I got this Aztec Clay from Whole Foods. It was about $7 or $8 for this entire jar. This can be used on hair and also can be used on your face. Let's see. Let's run some of the things for it. So it says mix the clay with equal parts of raw apple cider vinegar and or water. Use a non-metal bowl and utensil. Stir the mixture well to smooth the paste. Add more clay or liquid as needed. You let dry for 5 to 10 minutes for delicate skin and 15 to 20 minutes for normal skin. You will feel like a pulling and a tightening sensation. Remove the clay by washing with warm water. And it does mention that there will be slight redness of the skin, but that will disappear within 30 minutes. So this is supposed to remove impurities and dirt from the pores, and it is supposed to be a deep pore cleanser. So here's this. I have my clay. I have my apple cider vinegar. That will just focus. I like to use just this little bow, and then I use a makeup brush. I got this from the dollar store for like $1, so I just use that to put on my face. And as you can see, I have like all different types of things on my face. I have sensitive skin, so. And then I also have a measuring cup. So like I said, you put equal parts, and we're gonna go ahead and get started. So first, to get started, I do want to say excuse my shirt. It does have lint all over it from washing it with my fleece covers, so that is what you are seeing. First, you do want to start by carefully opening your Aztec clay. Remember that this is like a powder consistency, and a little does go a long way. So I'm using 1/4 of a cup, and I'm really just getting the bottom covered of this measuring cup. I'm not filling it all the way up to the top. I'm not even going halfway or a quarter of the way. So just make sure that you are remembering, again, a little goes a long way. And I'm just showing you how much I have there. Now, once you place this in your container, do remember the type of container that it suggests that you use on the back of the Aztec clay. I just use a plastic one. And for my apple cider vinegar, first make sure that you shake it up because it does settle. And I'm trying to get this to focus. So it does settle, like I said, so just give it a good shake before you pour it into your Aztec clay. Once you pour it, make sure that you you just put in a little bit at a time. I think I put too much because I actually had to go back and add more powder, which you'll see here. And as I'm starting to mix it, I noticed that it was too much because it was runny, and you want it to be more of like a paste type of consistency. Also, if you are using apple cider vinegar, it will bubble and kind of like sizzle, so don't be alarmed. But here you'll see when I do show it to you, it will be running from like one side of the container to the other. You kind of want it to be like really thick, and that's just how I like it. I mean, if you don't want it thick, you don't have to, but I like mine thick. I definitely don't want it running because it can become a true mess. So here I'm just going back in, adding just a little bit. It's always good to add a little bit because you can always build, but you can never take away. So just so that you can eliminate waste in any product, just make sure that you do a little bit at a time. Once I got that situated with the amount that I wanted, You can see it starting to thicken up, and I think I add a little bit more powder to it until I like how it looks. You do want to stir until all of the clumps are out, and it will look gray with a bunch of little holes in it. So don't be alarmed. I am just adding more powder here and stirring some more to get it just right. And so you can see like the little clumps and bumps that I was talking about that it'll have here. And you all excuse my St. Patrick's Day nails. So once that is all stirred up, I'm making sure I'm getting the edges, because sometimes a little bit of the product does stick to the edges. I do go ahead and start applying with the makeup brush. So the reason why I like applying with the makeup brush is because it doesn't get everywhere, and it doesn't become too much of a mess. This is already like a messy thing to do, and when you do this in your hair, it's a totally different process, and it does have to be a little bit more watery to have just a little bit more slip to it. But you will eventually find out, if you ever do put this in your hair, how messy this can get. So that's why I like it really thick. You see kind of, and it also kind of sticks to the face whenever it's thicker. So what I like to do is just put on an even layer, like coating my entire face, and I really make sure that I get underneath my double chin, my 5 head, like all of that. You want to get all of that. I just recently started doing this mask, so far it has been really well for me. The things that I've noticed about this mask is it does control the shine that I have. I am extra oily and really shiny, and ever since I've started doing this mask, I've had minimum problem with being overly shiny and overly oily. I've had minimum blackheads and whiteheads on my face. You guys can tell before I started putting this on the hyperpigmentation that I have in some areas, and some of the scarring and things like that. But since I've started doing this mask, I literally have not been getting any type of bumps and things like that on my face. I do this once a week, and then throughout the week I just follow up doing my regular skin regimen, and you guys can let me know if you all would like to see that. There's just no specific way on how to apply this. Like I said, you just put your first coat on, and once that goes on, you go ahead and do your second coat. After you finish applying your second coat and all of the face is covered with the mask, you let it sit. Even though it says 5 to 10 minutes for sensitive skin, and I told you guys that I do have sensitive skin, I like to let it sit for about 20 or 25 minutes, and I just allow it to get really hard. I will insert some photos of the mask. Once it gets hard, you will see it look like extra cracky, and you will feel it like pulling your face. It feels like somebody's like literally grabbing your face, snatching your face up, and it just feels so good and refreshing. Once you start removing the mask with the warm water, it literally like melts off. It feels so like buttery smooth, and it just feels really good. Now afterwards, you do want to have some form of moisturizer because your face will be extremely dry after this. So make sure that you have a moisturizer, and again, like I said, I will insert those photos of what it looks like during the drying process, and we'll be back after the mask. I just wanted to come back with a video after using the mask. Like I said, I just started using the mask and I do it once a week. This is about the 3rd week that I've been using the mask, and I already told you the benefits that I have noticed, but I've also noticed that it does start to blur out the imperfections that are on my face. Like I said, I do have some hyperpigmentation and scarring, so I know for a fact that those probably will never like completely go away, but to have something that cleans my pores and makes them less clogged does prevent any more of these types of things from happening. So I will be coming to you all with another video of the Aztec clay. Some people call it bentonite clay. It's all the same thing, has like 50 different names on the bottle or whatever. So I'll be coming to you guys with another video of that clay in my hair, and I do have natural hair, so we'll see the benefits of that on your natural hair. It makes your curls so defined, clumps them up really well, and it's a great like deep conditioning treatment for your hair as well. So like I said, I'll be coming to you all with a video on that, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye.